Brandy's brain yet. We're just been warming up the last 30 minutes. How bullish are you on PulseChain?
Well, I've made it abundantly clear that I think we're going to do better than Tron's launch in the first 90 days. Tron was 100x in 97 days, something like that. And it was a ghost chain. There was nothing. Yes, Tron launched in October or September 2017, right in the midst of the bull market. So it flew high just because everything else is flying high too. But unlike Tron, we are not launching with an empty chain. We are launching with a full chain. And each one of those pairs that are on PulseChain are going to be liquid. And you're going to be able to sell those pairs for Pulse. And I think that's going to drive up the price of Pulse, as well as the people who are going to FOMO into Pulse, as well as the people that have PulseX who are going to sell their PulseX to get into Pulse. So those first 24 to 72 hours for PulseChain are going to just be absolutely crazy. It's going to be absolute mayhem. And we could see on the first day an easy 50x. But first 90 days, anywhere 100 to 150x is quite possible.
So
in my opinion.
You said the first 3 days, 90 days and stuff. Do you think we'll follow kind of would it be like buy the rumor, sell the news? Do you think there'll be a huge dump as usual afterwards? What kind of volatility would you expect to see if we launch 2023 January or something? What kind of volatility do you see throughout 2023?
Okay, I'm good. I was on Jake Sharp stream the other day, and the one I brought up was Bitcoin Cash. My best trading day.
Hopefully with a better ending. Hopefully with a better ending than Bitcoin Cash.
Yes. But my best trading day ever was the launch day of Bitcoin Cash. Okay. I got my free Bitcoin Cash because I held my Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin Cash at the low, I think like $200 or something. It went up to like 900. I sold it all. It went back down to about 300. I bought again. It went back up to like 800. I sold it all. It was that's back in my trading days. What a day. Dude, my adrenaline was pumping so hard that day. I was like, baby, we're going out. Let's go out and party tonight. That's before I had my son. So that was about 6 months before I had my son. So we went out, had a good time, and I'll never forget that day. It was very exciting. So I think PulseChain is going to be very similar for people who are trading. I don't recommend trading at all. I just going to stake mine. I'm going to put my in one-sided, the one-sided pairs for the liquidity, and also for the validators. I don't have a lot of PulseChain, and I made it very clear because I only invested like $2,700 or $2,300 into PulseChain. And people are like, Randy, why did you invest so little in the PulseChain? Dude, because I thought it was going to launch in like 2 to 3 weeks. I thought I was going to be able to do what I always did and bought the dump after it launched.
More.
That was going to be my play because I had all this money ready for the launch and the dump. Because I figured it was going to be like a traditional ICO, in my opinion, right? Well, that didn't happen. So I ended up putting all the extra money into PulseX when the PulseX was announced. I do think PulseX is going to do very well.
So just with both, and you could talk about PulseX too, but why will it do well as far as like how do we get rid of the sell pressure? Like what is going to get rid of the sell pressure to make price go up and not, just be constantly dumping on and off?
Well, you're going to have your speculators, so we can't get rid of those folks, right? But the great news is PulseChain was so quiet when we did the sacrifice phase. It was the amount of wallets is so small compared to the PulseX sacrifice that I think the amount of dumpers is going to be small because most of the people that bought PulseChain are hexagons. Hexagons generally don't need the money. We already made our huge payoff. That for me, it was about 1,500 to 2,000x, but there's people that did 10,000x in hex. They don't need any money. They're happy. They're just happy to get their PulseChain, get their PulseX, and stake the shit and not even think twice about it. But there's going to be the speculators that come in. They're going to sell. There's always going to be sell pressure. People who, especially if it's 2023, oh my God. So a year and a half, they're waiting to get their liquidity back. There's people are going to dump.
Can't wait to dump it. A lot of people.
They can't wait. I've seen people on Twitter now saying, "Oh, I'll sell my wallet." It's a good way to get scammed, by the way.
Wow. Yeah.
I saw that yesterday. Oh, I'll sell my wallet for my PulseX sacrifice. Do not ever buy someone's wallet.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You will get scammed.
There's a project that, it seems like because the thing is they have the key, you buy the wallet, whatever it's got in it, you don't know where it's going to go, how it's going to end up. You can't change the key and stuff like that.
Nope.
So, as far as, do you think a lot of people are going to be locking up? Do you think a lot of people will be using, assuming liquid loans is working well, it launches, everything goes well? How much impact do you think things like that, things like fiat, things like some of the community projects, derivatives of it or not? How do you think they affect the sell pressure? Do you think they're going to keep stuff in, PHEX even?
No. I think no one's going to sell. I think hexagons, like I said, hexagons have money. I would rather sell my derivatives any day of the week. I don't have to sell my hex. I think with fiat, there's going to be a way to take loans against your hex. Maybe even your hex stakes. I don't know. They might have loans against your hex stakes. That's cool too. Yeah, I guess you kind of do that with Hedron already, as long as you stake it as a HSI. So, you've already got that option. I just don't see people. Hex is just one of those things that it's your gold, man. It's the stuff you don't sell. You don't want to get rid of it because it's so hard to recover the T shares.
Yeah.
At my peak, I'm already down from the peak about 50 T shares from like beginning of 2020. I'm down 50. So getting those back, holy crap.